My name is Nehemiah and I'm very happy to have you on board. So this is a full course on file handling in Python, but we are going to begin from the very basics. But then guys, I remember file handling is a very important part of any web application. And remember Python has several functions for creating, reading, updating, and also deleting files. So, guys, basically the key function for working with files in Python is the open function. And remember the open function takes two parameters. That's the file name and the mode. I'm going to show you in a few. But basically there are four different methods or modes for basically opening a file. The first one is read. You can see here I highlighted as read, which is shortened with R for read. And remember default value basically R is a default value, and basically this one opens a file for reading, and it will bring the error if the file does not exist. And then we also have another method called append, or which is shortened with A. And guys, basically this method opens a file for appending and also creates a file if it doesn't exist. And then we have the write mode or a method, and the write mode is shortened with RW. Now this one opens a file for writing and also creates the file if it doesn't exist. And then we also have the create, which is shortened with X. This one creates the the specified files and returns an error if the file exists. So guys, basically we have two methods here that brings the error. We have the read and also the create. These ones brings the error if the file does not exist. But for append and also write, this one creates new files if the file doesn't exist. So basically, in addition to that, we have also, you can specify if the file should be handled as a binary or as a text mode. We have the T. I should have added here. First of all, exist. Sorry, let me say exist. And then we have a T. Now for T, this one defines a text file, and this one is a text mode, mode. And then we also have the binary mode, which is shortened with B, small b, and this one, let me say binary. This one is a binary mode. And remember binary is any file which is not a text. Like we can have the image files, we can have the music files, we can have you can have a document PDF and many others. So basically those are samples of the binary files. So guys, basically let me make these tabs a comment. Remember I'm using a Jupyter Notebook. Let me make it a comment. And by the way, guys, I'm using Jupyter Notebook from Anaconda environment. Remember, by now, if you have been following my tutorials in this channel, you know how to use Anaconda. Or if you don't know, just go to the Anaconda page, anaconda.com, then /products /distribution, then click on it, and then download for your operating system. Once you have downloaded and you have installed, remember the installation process is just straightforward. Just accept anything if it brings, and then once you have installed, and then when you launch anaconda.navigator, you'll find it here. If it doesn't launch automatically, you can find it here. Then you go to the you search for Anaconda Navigator. I don't know where is it, but I think Anaconda, here it is. Then I go to open for that Anaconda. Mine is 3 by the time I'm recording this video. Then I go to the Anaconda Navigator. Then when you launch, you'll have this kind of an interface. Then I just click on launch. I'm using Jupyter Notebook. You can click on it, you can launch. Alternatively, guys, you can use the IDE for Python, which is PyCharm. We also have other text editors like a Sublime Text. You have Visual Studio Code and many other text editor. But then for this tutorial I'm using a Jupyter Notebook. from Anaconda environment. And so guys, basically let me first of all let me create a new cell here, and then guys, basically to open a file for reading, it's enough to specify the file name. Perhaps I can say F. Then I'm gonna show you everything in an example, basically in a detailed format in a few, but then let me just show you how you can open a file. Remember, I said that I will use the the function open to open the files. Remember, this one is a key function for working with files in Python. So let's say open, and then you specify your file name, like basically you specify the file path. If it doesn't exist in the same directory, perhaps you can type in, you can place your file name, and file it should be file name. If is a txt file, you define .txt, and then you specify the mode. By default is read mode. By default, if you don't specify, like remember, I'm just showing you, but I'm going to show you everything in detail. I'll create also a file for the demo, and everything is going to work. And so remember, this code is the same as R. Remember, I said by default. Remember here I said read mode is a default value if you don't specify, but you can as well specify read and specify the more actually the type of the file. This one is a txt file. Remember, I said it is shortened with a T to define that this one is a text file. If it were binary, you specify B, and so but then this one is T. So this is how you can open a file. But then now guys, let me now talk about how I can create a file, and also how I can show you how you can read that file. For example, let me open a notepad. Like let me create a open a notepad. Then perhaps let me say hello world. Hello world. Let me say name tag. Let me say name tag. So guys, basically I've created this file and I want to save it as a txt file. And guys, I remember you have to specify the file path. Like for example, let me first of all save, and then remember the file, the location for this Jupyter notebook. Actually, this is a Jupyter file. These are the desktop, so I'm gonna save it at the same directory. So let me go to the desktop, and then here, let me say what? Let me say perhaps demo. Let me say demo.txt. Remember here the extension here should be txt, but you can as well specify if it's at the all file. If it's at the all file, you specify .txt and .txt like that. And then what you do, let's click on the save. Let's click on the save, and then it's a demo file.txt. So basically guys, we have created this file and we have saved it with the extension .txt to define that this one is a text file. Now, how do we open this file? So guys, basically to open, we use the same function here. So first of all, let me minimize this section, and then I don't know if you can see, let me try to zoom in a bit. And then here we are going to do this. Let's now define our file name. It was demo file, I guess, and then .txt. First of all, let's begin without this extension here. These are the mode. Remember, by default it is read. So we shall try also to add the other parameter, so that you may see if it works the same. But here let's say print, and then if I want to read, we have to use this method. Basically, first of all f, then read method to read the file. So what I do, let me run and see if it will open. So guys, basically it brings the error. Let me no such file in this demo file. Let me check it out. Oh, it is demo, not demo file. Let me change here to demo. Let me change here to demo. let me change here to demo, and then now what I do, let me run again and see if it work. And then again, as you can see, it has printed out hello world. Nametech is a freemium tech learning platform. Please subscribe. Website is this www.nametech.com. So guys, basically this is how you can read. Remember, this applies if it is at the same directory. Otherwise, for example, let me just open my file explore. Let me open my file explore. Basically, let me just, it is at the desktop. Then here, let me just let me just let me cut this file. Then what I do, let me place somewhere else, like let me place here the documents. Let me just paste it here. Let me just paste it here, but you can see it is already opened, so I can't. Perhaps what I do, let me just at this other end, let me just save as. Then what I do, let me just paste it at the documents. Then I here, let me just paste it there. Perhaps let me change the file name to demo file .txt. Is a txt file. So let me first of all change here to txt, and then let me save. And then now you can see it's available here. So guys, basically if you want to access this demo file, you can see when you try to say remember it's at a different file directory. So like if you say file demo file .txt, it will bring the error because it's not at the same directory. You can see no such file or a directory demo file. So in this case, guys, you have to specify the file path. How do you specify the file path? So what you do, go to your file where the file is, then I click on it, and then I here, I'm sure guys, if it doesn't bring this option here at the top, I think it might be this way. Ensure that you click on it to expand, and then I click here the copy path, copy the file path, and then what you do, go to your notebook. Then I here, what you do, just paste it there. But then now here you have to specify, you have to use 2 double slash for it to work. Like let me try to run first of all. You can see it brings the error here. So what you do, you have to specify true backslashes. Also here 2 backslash, a pair of backslash. Also here a pair of a backslash. Let's try to run again and see if it will work. Then again, you can see it does. So if you have a file in a different file directory, you have to specify the file path. Otherwise, if it's at the same directory, you just do what, you just use the file path, like let me just say here it was demo dot. Remember, at the same directory we have demo.txt. So in this way, you just have to specify demo.txt. Then when you run, it will read your file. So basically, guys, this is how you can read your file. And then what is so guys, basically if you want to read basically like different parts of the file, like remember guys, these are read method returns the whole text if you don't specify, but you can also specify how many characters you want to return. Like if I use 1, it will return only the first 5 character, actually the first character, which is hello. But remember, if I had added the white space, it will bring nothing. Like let me try to add a white space here, and then let me run this data. You can see, oh, basically it doesn't count the white space. Let me try to oh, I forgot to save. Let me save first of all, and then let me try to run again. I think it will bring an empty what. It does work, but I thought it will bring the actually the white space. Remember, that's not a character. Oh, basically it does return the characters. Like if I want to specify 10 characters, or let me say 6 characters, it will return only the 6 characters. Now for lines, you say read lines, you add here read line, you add here read line. You have to specify also the mode is read. read, and then what I do here, let me, oh, first of all guys, I forgot to show you without the, I forgot to show you, first of all, you can see this one returns the value. Also guys, if you specify the mode, for example, let's say R, it will still give you, sorry guys, I don't know, I forgot to add here a comma. I should have added the separator parameter with a comma, and then you can see it does return the value, actually the result still. So guys, you can use you can use what, you can add this. Remember, by default is read mode, but you can as well specify the mode. So I was talking about how to return a line. So guys, basically to return a line, you have to use this method f dot read read line, and then guys, let me try to run. First of all, let me run and see if it will work. Yeah, guys, you can see it does. By default, it brings out the first line by default. And so for example, if I add several, print these lines, for example, this one will return what, sorry, should be a read line, and also, oh, here it should be print. I forgot, the function is print, and then when I run, it will return what, those three lines. But guys, you can also loop the lines. You can also loop the lines. For example, if you want to return everything, you can use what, you can use the for loop if you want to return everything. For example, assuming that you have a lot of data in your document, and you want to return everything other than printing each line. With the print function, you can use the for loop. Remember, if you have learned, if you followed my previous course on Python, I have a full course on Python, and we talked about the loops and also some of the conditions. We talked about everything about Python. I have a full course on Python. You can go and check it out. But for today, let me use a for loop here. Perhaps let me say for x in uh, in uh, in this f, the variable we defined here for file f, then let me say f, and then here let me say print x. So basically this one will return everything. Let me run. It will return every line in our notebook, like, and then I do it. Let me just paste it here, and then I don't know if I can save. Let me try again. And see if it will work. It should be demo. Let me run again, and I guess you can see it has returned everything. Like let's try again. Let's try to reduce these lines, actually the spaces, the empty lines, and see if this one returns everything, even the white space. Save, and then what you do, let's try to run again. You can see guys, it returns literally everything. So guys, basically this is how you can return everything. You can use the for loop to loop through the files line by line, other than using the print function for each line. And so guys, basically it's a good practice always to do it, to close the file when you are done with it. So to close, you have just to use what, you have to use the close function. Like if it were this way, you just say f, that's the file name, actually the variable for the file, then you add in, use this method close, and then this way you'll have close the file. Oh guys, basically this one applies if, first of all, let me run again and see if it will work. Here guys, basically always ensure that you add in this close method to close your files. Once you're done, you should always close your files. In some cases, due to some buffering, changes made to a file may not show until you close the file. So but this one, it has worked, but it's a good practice always to close, even if it were just how to print the files without this for loop, you ensure that you always close. So guys, basically let's talk about how to write to an existing file. Now guys, basically to write to an existing file, you must add parameters to the open function. Remember, this is the mega function, or the main function, the open function. But you can also add these methods here, like the append. This one will append. For example, if you want to modify an existing file for append, this one will append to the end of the file. Remember, appending, it modifies the file to the end. But if you write write mode, in the write mode, it will override everything, and you lose your data. But append, you don't lose your data. Like let me guys show you an example here. Okay, so let me see what let me say. Let's begin with the append. First of all, let me use a new line of code here, and then should I let me just copy this first line, because I'll just retype the thing, and then I here let's change the method here. Let's say f dot what I do guys, let me first of all copy, because I want to begin with the right. Remember, right will just overwrite everything, or guys, let it override everything, then we shall modify it. So like let me say f, then let's say right, and then this one, and let me say what, let me open, and then let me just say, for example, let me use a string here. Let me say our website is what, www.nametech.com. Guys, you can find the reference to this course on that website, nametech.com. And then guys, always remember to do what I said. You always close. Let me say f dot close, f dot close method. And then here now guys, basically to do it, to open the second file. Actually, this modified file, we can say f, assign it to open function, open, and then here let me use what, let me use these pubs. I can say what, let me just say demo is so let me say demo demo.txt, and then the mode is read, then let's say print, then here we are gonna return what, this method f dot read, and then oh guys, basically here it should be append. I should have changed it to append. I said that append modifies the file at the end, so I should have used append. If it were to write, I should have used what, write. Alright, like this. Then what I do, let me run, and then I can see our website is, let me just check, let me refresh. You can see now it is, now our website is nametech.com, so it has override everything. But if it were append, it will write at the end of it, like if we say let me run, and then you can see now it adds what, let me refresh. You can see it adds at the end of it. But if you want to specify, if you want to use a break, if you want to break a line, you can just say like this. I don't know if it will work. Yeah guys, basically it does. If you want to break to a new line, use this method / then n, then this one breaks into a new line. But if you don't specify like that, it will just continue, it will just be a continuous line. So guys, basically this is how you can do that. But what I do, let me do this. Let me just first of all, let me just repaste let me repaste, actually paste that content. Then now what I do, let me try to append, and then guys, let me run. Yeah, you can see we have modified, our object. If you go to this other end, you can see our file is now, modified. So guys, basically that's how you can do that. Guys, basically you have understood how to write. For writing, you just use what R if it were to write. But remember to write, it will overwrite everything. But if it's append, it just it adds the content, the new content at the end of your files. And so guys, basically that's how you can do that. Now guys, basically to create a new files in Python, you can as well use the open method with one of the parameters. Remember I said that x create a new file and returns an error if the file exists. And so basically it creates a new file, but it returns an error if the file exists. Like let me show you first of all that. Let me copy this line. Let me copy the line, then let me just paste it here. First of all, let me delete the extra cell. Then what I do, let me just copy. And then what I do, let me just paste it here. And then again, basically I said that this one returns an error if the file exists if you use the X mode. Remember X, this one is to create a new file. Like for example, let me run. You can see it returns an error if that file exists. You can see the file exists, so it will return the error. But if we change the file name, perhaps let's say demo file, a demo file like this, and then when we run, it will get that file. Basically, you can see. So what I do, guys, let me just try to make this one a comment. Let me make this one a comment because let me make it a comment. Then what I do, let me return. And then guys, basically first of all, guys, you can see this file exists. Let's try to check it out. You can see demo file is now it exists, but remember it don't have any content. And so basically this is how you can create a file. Perhaps if it were, let me just say test file. Let me say test file. Let me run, and then guys, basically this one will. Perhaps let me create print out. Let me add in some function here. Let me just say let me say add in some string so that you can see something at the terminal. Like let's say print is a string. The file is created. The file is created. This one will return an error because the file already exists. But if I modify a bit, perhaps let me say demo file 2, it will print out this file exists, is created, and when you go to that end, you can see the file exists. And then again, basically we also have write. So guys, basically for write, this one will create a file in a specified file, basically in a specified file if it doesn't exist. Like you can just say, let's say nametech. When you use R like this, it will do what? It will create the file, and then when you go to this other end, you can see nametech exists here. So guys, basically this one also create the file, and then also we have the append will create a file in a specified file if it doesn't exist. Like let's say for example, let's use append, and then here let me change nametech. Let me just use perhaps test, and then let's run. And then again, when you go here, you can see you have the test. So these are basically, this is how you can do it. This is how you can create new files with these mods. But then let's talk about on how you can delete a file. You can see we have several files here. How can we delete these files? So guys, basically to delete, to delete, I can just say, let me copy these lines. To delete Geyser, we have to use these are not really Geyser. Basically, what I have to do, let me first of all, let me is import. You have to import what? You have to import this OS module and run it as a os.remove function. So first of all, let's say import OS module, and then os dot remove. Remove is a function in that OS module, and then here let's say we want to delete this text. You can see it exists on this other end. This test, but here I want us to remove it, which is test.txt. Test.txt. Then perhaps I can return something so that you can see it work. Like let me say print. You can let's say print. Let me say the file. The file is deleted. The file is deleted, and then here let me run. Guys, basically it brings an error here. The process cannot access the file because it is being used by another process, process. So guys, how do I do it? It is being used by, or let me just try to use what? Let me just try to use a name tag. Let me try name tag and see. A name tag, let me run. Yeah, the file is deleted. Let me check it out. Name tag is deleted. Let's try also demo file. You can see demo file is here. So let's try to delete name demo file and see if it will work. Demo file. Let me run. You can see there's no demo file again here. Also demo, to delete it, you can just say demo like this. Then when I run, it is deleted. You can see it is now deleted. So guys, basically this is how you can delete. Now how can we check if the file exists? Guys, basically to avoid an error. Perhaps when you try to run again, you will get an error. Let me try. Here, let me try to run. We'll get the error because this file doesn't exist in the system. You can see the file not found error. The system cannot find the file specified demo.txt. So guys, basically how can we avoid the error, getting an error? So guys, basically we have to do it. We might want Geyser to check if the file exists before we try to delete. And in that case, Geyser, we have to modify these function here. Actually these let me do this. Let me just copy and then let me use a new line of code here, and then here I'm gonna say what, let me say use an if condition here. If os dot path, if os os dot path dot path, if os dot path then dot exist and dot exist, what I do, let me say first of all specify the file, like this one was demo. Let me cut and then let me just paste it there, and then let me say now os dot remove. Remember this one is a condition, so the next line should have an indentation there. Then what I do, let me just copy, then I do it, let me paste it here once again, and then else now let's say print, let's say print, let me cut this one, else let's print let's print the file doesn't exist, or let me just say let me say the file doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Remember, guys, exist. Exist like this. So, guys, basically remember this one won't work. If you want to say, if you use a single quote here and then also here you say it doesn't, this one will bring the error because this one will Python will consider this one as a string, and then at this other end it will consider it as something which is not defined, or it will bring the error. So in that case, guys, if you want to use this, you have to, if you want to use this special character here, the it's called what, the quotation and the single quote. You have to, in this line, the entire, you have to use the double quote. If you want to use the single quote inside, use what, the double quote like this, so that inside it you can use these small quotes, single quotes, so that you may not have error. So guys, basically what I do, let me just try to run and see. And so you can see now the file doesn't exist. It is true the file doesn't exist because we deleted. Like for example, let's try to delete what these are text file test. What I do, let me just paste it there like this. And then what I do, let me run, and then guys, let me just check it out. Let me refresh. It's basically, let me do it. Let me just find. Oh, guys, basically, guys, you can see I should have I should have done what I should have do the same here. I should have done that also. Let me run, and then guys, basically the process cannot exist because the file is being used on another process. I don't know where, but let me try another file. Like let me use this one. Let me copy, then here let me just let me just paste, then let me run. You can see it's now done. It is deleted on this other end. You can see it is deleted now, that that test file. So how can we delete a folder? So guys, assuming that you have a folder, perhaps let me try to create a folder somewhere. Let me create a folder. How can I create a folder? Here, these are the end. Let me just new a folder. I can. So here, let me just rename this folder. Perhaps how can I rename? How can I rename the folder? Alright, guys, basically I think you can rename it on your file explorer, but I've just created this file. Actually, this is a folder. First of all, let me return to the desktop. Then, or let me write. Still it doesn't. Let me just click here. Then, okay, so basically there's an option to rename. I can say perhaps test folder. So guys, let me show you how you can delete this folder. So guys, basically to delete the folder, you have to use what? You have to use this function. Let me say. First of all, import the OS module with the import keyword, import OS, and then here you say OS dot remove basically rm for remove, and then a directory. You say this dir, and then here specify the folder, which is test, right? It is test folder. So let me say test, and then when I run, it will delete it. Example, let's check it out. Then let's refresh. You can see, guys, that folder is deleted. So guys, basically you can but remember that we can only delete empty folders. If that folder had something inside it, it won't work. It won't be deleted. You can only delete the empty folder. So guys, basically this is all about file handling in Python, and guys, I think you've gained a lot. Please now subscribe, like, and share the video to your friends so that they too may learn something new. But I really appreciate you very much for your support. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.